Okay, I'm gone for an hour and a half drive, and then I'm at the hospital for about till after noon, and then I go back home. It takes another about hour and a half. I get home about 12:30, and I mean 2:30, and so I'm trying to get my computer up and running, and everything's black. Right. Now this was on my UMA site, but now it's not. Now I'm not saying I can prove someone was in the house when I'm gone. No one can. But nor do you do stupid things, nor are most people self sabotaging, even if they are schizophrenic because of workers and people working around them who aren't training them how to be an electrician properly, which is a problem because you don't know why. You just know they're not training you. Now, they did ask you if you were gay 3 times, but you just answered no and thought they would train you anyway. They didn't. The whole time you're on the ship, by the way. Now, if they're involving other people, they're involving them because they failed for their game. Now, the game might work this way. I won't train you to be an electrician unless you be gay with me. But I didn't know that was what they were doing. See, I'm naive about those kind of things. Because even Myron and David, 2 guys I'm hanging out with, know we're all after women anyway. At least I think we are, right, Myron and David? I am, anyway. Now, mhm. Now the problem is with Google right now. It's all black. Now, when I left this morning, it was up and running, right? Meaning I could have pulled it up and do what I needed to do. Well, now it's all black and I don't know what's going on. I can't even close the damn page, right? And I didn't do nothing. But it was up yesterday because I was working on my assignment. There it is. Finally. But it's not normally all black. You see what I mean? I don't know what's going on. And see, magically, right? Suddenly it's working right, suddenly. But it's still not, right? I don't know why. I don't know. Or what's going on. I ain't done nothing to it out the ordinary. But I was hacked in 2017, like I told you before. And I don't have the ability to change anything, right? And all you got to do to get any password, especially with my new Xfinity password, is, just ask it for the password. You ever heard of stalking someone unaware? Right, that's the problem. And that's what it kind of looks like. It's also someone trying to sabotage me, right? Apparently, too. Right, right. Again, that's what it was like. But look how long it's taken to get to the correct page, and I ain't touched it since yesterday either. Usually, I'll leave it on the page because I'll look at it first thing in the morning. And when I tried it first thing this morning, it was no, it wasn't going to the page properly. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I was hacked. Someone even erased the portion of me and my ex-wife's conversation where I told her I was recording her on my own computer. Right? They edited that part out. And I know I would tell her that I was going to post it as well if I'm going to post something. I know what that means. That means I gotta ask her permission and talk to her. Now, we had a long conversation, of course. We talked about a lot of topics. But I know the rules, Daphne. And I don't have a problem paying by them. I know if your daughter comes in there to me, no matter what she needs to do, I'm to bring her back to you. She's got to go to the bathroom or she's waking me up, either way. I asked her who showed her that and tell you if someone showed her that. Now, just because the child says grandma don't mean grandma really would do that with her either. It's just someone coached her to say that. Or I had to tell someone on base a similar story because of a different reason, Daphne, being that this guy or a couple of his friends could have been in the gay Navy. I don't know. I didn't join the Navy thinking I would have to deal with gay men literally because I thought it was, again, the straight Navy I was going into. I heard the rumor of it being possibly the gayest of the armed forces to join. Of course. And, of course, YMCA and in the Navy, you think they're just songs though to a boy growing up in Georgia. And I didn't see it as anything other than that either. Mm-hmm. Anyway. So I'm in RX 2020 week 1 trying to do the interactions and all that too, right? And that's what I've done so far. That's my lawyer, but again, only reason I gotta disclose that to you is you're making me get help from a lawyer, right? Because I'm trying to really rehabilitate from a 3-story fall, but people keep hitting me in car accidents that are hard to explain, right? um, there, it could go either way of whose fault it is, and someone's not taking down my statement. That's the problem there. My side of the accident is different than the bus drivers who has a bus full of children trying to get on across in a hurry when the light turns yellow with her and there are 2 cars in front of me turning left as well. See, that could make her swerve into my lane even if I didn't go far enough to hit her in her lane. See, when you're going straight, you have a narrow margin for error, especially if 2 cars are turning left in front of me, right? And I stop because my light turns yellow and I know I can't go any further because it's bumper to bumper traffic. First thing in the morning. But there again, neither should she try to cross on the yellow if she's got a bus full of children. One of us had to stop there, and one of us might have had to swerve to avoid the 2 other vehicles turning in front of me and could have hit me because of those reasons instead of. And she might not have seen me behind the 2 vehicles as well. More than I just stopped out of instinct because of the light turning yellow on my side, right? And knowing it was bumper to bumper traffic. And what that means is I was yielding the right of way to someone going perfectly straight. Now, you can't just swerve and then try to take the road like you own the road. I know. Now, what this is all about is I'm trying to rehabilitate from a 3-story fall that happened in the military. Right? And I keep getting in these weird accidents, which I have water therapy with one just a few months ago. I just got out of that, and now I'm in another weird accident where a guy is stopped a little bit past the fast foods, gas station. I see him, I stop in time myself about a car leaves behind him, right, as well. And he's driving one of those kind of utility vehicles where it's hard for him to gauge how far I'm back behind him. Anyway, he might not have been able to see out his rearview mirror. And again, object and mirrors aren't necessarily 100% reliable, Daphne, or Sal's wife and girlfriend, or anyone who would try to entrap me to be with a child anyway. I know. The difference with entrapment, again, is you're putting someone in a weird situation where they're not sure what's going on and they're acting out differently than you would expect them to, but not criminally like you want them to. Now, I don't know if that means any criminal proceedings if you didn't do anything unless the police deem it that way. You know what I mean? Or a prosecutor says, well, this woman you the man was mentally ill and shouldn't have let her daughter go in there at all, right? And charges her with reckless endangerment, right, of the child, right? I mean, like I said, I told my ex-wife the moment we met about my disability, right? And shortly after I met her and we got married and we moved into an apartment, the plan was to bring her daughter at least by August down to Virginia to live with us. But the plan went screwy in August. We got into a little tiff where some kind of verbal argument where I had to pick her up, put her into bed to leave the room. And since I took martial arts instead of, physically hitting her, I chose the more benevolent route, using what's called a hip toss and putting her in the bed next to me, behind me, so I could walk and leave the room. All I'm saying there too could happen. Because of course I'm not trying to get into a fight with my ex-wife, but if she starts one, I know how to deal with that. But if I'm trapped and can't leave the room, I know I can't hit her, but I can pick her up, put her in the bed, and leave the room, right? Without breaking the law, too. It's called a hip toss. No, it is. And the difference with the hip toss is, I know, it's not going to hurt her when you put. See, mainly we flip on mattresses or pads anyway. We don't try to really hurt each other in karate. Mm-hmm. So what that was about is getting her out the way so she could calm down and I could calm down and figure what the heck is going on. Right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. Anyway. Mm-hmm. And all right, then on the way to meet her parents, so I ain't met her parents yet. We make it past the mountains, and she's so mad about that, because I got to be back by Monday, right? And she's not communicating well to me her plan either. And so again, I know she leaves me in Bucksnort. I have to call my mom to get her to wire me some money, and that's all I know about that. And luckily, I make it back home, but I'm on the couch after that too. I don't know what's going on. And she's a poor communicator herself. She didn't tell me she had 2 weeks leave or something when I just got back from the hospital being admitted into the ward for 2 weeks myself. Right? Mm-hmm. But again, right, I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble, but okay, if she's having a problem with my behavior, I'm having a problem with hers too, right? It's weird, even for a mentally ill person who was raised practically right. Now, reason I say that is I have a sister I helped raise as well until my car wreck, and after the car wreck, I kind of broke her leg, but that's because I was studying into the martial arts and jiu-jitsu, which she knows that. Some idiot on base might not know that as well. Mm-hmm. Now, the weirdest thing that could have happened at the fall is, again, I was trying to get into the window and couldn't get into the window and figured to jump from the window ledge quickly. One's the fastest way down. rather than lowering yourself down to additional body weight. But that's because I was jumping from my trailer and felt I could do it with no real obstacles below me. But for some reason, the doctors are thinking I fell on concrete or something. They don't know what the hell's going on with my injury. And they're all confused as I am, as you are. But I'm feeling pain in my back and ankle. Oh, no, really. So that's where that kind of ended with Daphne. I moved back to base. And, right. And I wasn't even around her long. So the rest of it is between me and my attorney. So anyway, y'all have a good evening.